And here I thought Deku is a reincarnation. I am so disappointed. There are times that truth can help out an individual to understand better. There are also times that truth can cause turmoil within an individual, possibly redirect the destination that may be damaging in the long run. The chapter's title is pretty clear on what's to focus on, and it certainly creates more depth of his character development for better or worse. Before entering series of Deku's dilemma, we are given some clues on what overhaul Chisaki's quirk may be. Apparently they caught villains that are cleansed from diseases in an instant, which is confusing to heroes. There was a report that truck accident incident has 0 casualties, in which has Night Eye sets his sight on the 8 precepts. This would suggest that Chisaki may have a quirk that takes away diseases and possibly transfer over to someone else. It would explain on why his magic touch can wipe out anyone in a second. It also could explain why an arm only for compress that was wiped out. It's hard to say since Chisaki isn't alone. For all we know, he has his men to do those stunts. So it's not that clear, but it's a lead for certain. After that discussion, this is where things become hectic for Deku, and he has to face a realistic approach to circumstances. While it is unclear if Eri is Chisaki's daughter, the main point is how Deku felt like it was wrong to leave her behind, and maybe it would be better off helping her to the end. That's where Night Eye tells him how wrong he was in that position. In my last chapter review, I explained that it's all about making a choice, good or right. This chapter, however, takes a side that goes against Deku's rushly behavior. While Deku's heart is in the right place, time is against him, and that's where Deku lacks. He lacks patience and thinks everything will turn out fine instantly. He may learn a lot in the past, but he doesn't know the time and patience. We almost witnessed a battle that shouldn't occur and potentially end the series unless we get a new protagonist. The only problem now is what could lead to the follow-up, but that's another story. Here, it's about carefully place your move rather than go for broke all the time. Sure, you may continue to worry about a civilian, but if you were going to lose your life without solving a problem, what's the point? Deku has this ongoing turmoil and it starts to distract him drastically, hence why he starts doing bad at school. The only solution is to meet All Might and come clean. At first I thought this sort of problem would last a while, which could be a hassle to deal with, something that can be dealt with right away. So I was pleased to see how he goes to All Might earlier than I expected. The main highlight is the whole conversation between All Might and Deku, which includes a distressing flashback. The way on how it started off with them felt normal, or something that wasn't going to be dramatic. While All Might took it normal, Deku took it very personal. It's probably the first time he yelled at his idol, so it's more impactful. When someone says don't regret after you hear it, you know it's not going to be good. The flashback is pretty distressing to say the least, and it's not just because of All Might. If there was a moment to see how it affects others, including Night Eye, this is the time. It takes place after he was severely injured. In fact, it's when his body no longer functioned the way it did. What stole the spotlight for me was Night Eye. He told All Might to retire and find a successor to fill in his role. The problem was that time wastes no one. And that's All Might's problem as well. It does explain why All Might was rushing Deku in the beginning, even when he was on duty. He has too much pride on symbol of peace, stating that no one should wait for that symbol to return. He was way too hard on himself to push forward and continuously kill his body further. The reason why I said Night Eye stole the show is because of how he transitioned his emotion to something he couldn't bear. His attitude starts the same as always, strict and straight to the point. The more he kept persuading him and fails, the more he starts to lose his cool. It actually hurts me to watch him lashing out at him because he doesn't want his foresight to come true and wants to change its direction. It hurts even more on how much of a fan he is. Could you imagine on how much stress you'll be if you can see the future of your idol and it ends short? The scary part is All Might's demise is determined. It will be by the hands of a villain. This raises a lot of speculation, wondering if that time has come already but it has been altered, or we are going to see it soon. It's a dark twist that leaves you feeling frightening. This led to their split. Now I see why it was awkward. I can't say I blame Night Eye. The art captures more on the emotional side of visual, which is well presented. Deku's multiple expressions leave a good amount of emotions from his dilemma. You could tell on how much stress he's dealing with. The significance of All Might's smile really holds a lot in this series, so watching non-smiling All Might is pretty surreal. It is not action orientated, it is drama that keeps me compelled. The ending did end abruptly. It was kind of strange on how it ended just like that. That said, it does leave one important piece, and that is the truth behind choosing Deku. He was chosen because of timing. At last, coincidence. Nothing more, nothing less. Deku isn't the chosen one, a reincarnation, thankfully, or anything special. He's just a fanboy that got lucky. It didn't help that All Might didn't meet Muriel before him, so that says a lot. It's a distressing chapter that needed to happen for reality to kick in or return back to Deku. If the theme is about the truth, it should also be timing. Deku lacks time and patience, as well as All Might. Everything isn't like media. Sometimes the reality can be cruel, but you have to face it at some point. It's up to Deku to think over and hopefully don't fall flat. I'm giving this chapter an 8. I really like this drama piece, and I know a lot of people want more action, but that's gonna come soon. Besides, we need more depth of the character. Not to say Deku doesn't have any, but he actually has a lot of good ones so far. What Deku has is the motivation and the inspiration. What are your thoughts of this chapter? If the foresight is true, who do you think is going to kill All Might? I think Shigaraki is going to end up killing All Might. I hope that's not true, but if we have to choose one, and if it has to happen, I would think that he will be the best fit. Especially it will be the very cruel irony, but the time will tell. Maybe we missed that time. I can only hope. I would like to think that time was for All For One, and it has been altered to the point that he just retired, but you never know. And that will do it for today's review. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel, and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.